Today on Hampton Roads Business Weekly, tips on writing a better email plus an app that makes buying local a whole lot easier.
We have this and a lot more, and it starts right now for Hampton Roads Business Weekly.
Hello, I'm Zach Miller.
And I'm Cheryl Tan. Welcome to Hampton Roads Business Weekly, a weekly look at the businesses and entrepreneurs making an impact right here in Hampton Roads.
All right, buying local. In the past, we've talked about some of the benefits to buying local, and now the Retail Alliance is giving customers another one.
It's called Lova, and it's an app that rewards you for buying local. We are here today with Catherine Seipt, the Lova Program Manager with Retail Alliance. Catherine, thanks so much for joining us today.
Of course, I'm excited to be here.
We're talking about small businesses and technology. Specifically, we're talking about the Lova app, which came out in October of 2014, so
Yes.
a little over 2 years old. And I want to start with why you decided to promote small business using this kind of technology.
Oh, absolutely. What we decided was, or what we wanted to try to accomplish was to unite local retailers in the fight against big box retailers and try to give them a leg up. In this area with so many military and transitioning families, they become very loyal to the big box retailers that are going to be in every city that they're going to be stationed in. We wanted to incentivize them to shop local here in Hampton Roads and choose the local businesses that, employ more people at higher wages, that have better priced goods, that have more made in America goods. When you shop local, there's just so many other ramifications by having a strong local presence, and we wanted to help with that.
Explain to us how it works. So you download it, and you can download it for free.
Download it for free, so it's easy for consumers, and it's on the Droid program and iOS, so if you have any of those phones, it'll work. But all you do is you collect hearts by going into businesses and scanning a purchase. So every time you go in, you'll scan a QR code the business has, and it goes through your camera, so you don't need a QR reader or anything like that.
Okay.
You only need the app. And once you collect 10 hearts, you have a reward that you can redeem anywhere. And you can even go to the Find a Business, and it'll pull up all the businesses close to you based on your GPS.
Mm-hmm. And so you were talking about specific rewards, that once you get 10 hearts, you can pick any reward you want.
Exactly. You can save that reward until you're ready to use it. Like I have a dog, so I will save my rewards and go and get 20% off at Care-A-Lot. I know a lot of families will save their rewards and get $20 off if they spend $70 or more at Farm Fresh. There's $25 or 25% off at A. Dodson's. There's free soup at Menino's. I mean, all sorts of things. So every reward is different for that business and what works for that business to be able to give. We didn't put any limits on that for the businesses because we're trying to help them.
Well, more than 2 years into this, the numbers are pretty impressive. You've
Yes.
got more than 12,000 downloads.
Yes.
And more than, you said, 55,000 transactions.
Oh, absolutely. We're averaging about 4,000 transactions or more a month. So that's 4,000 consumers shopping locally and using the app to do so and earning hearts. And then we're averaging about 500 to 600 new consumers every month. So we're getting a lot of traction with it and really growing. So we're very, very happy with that.
What would you say the word is from the people who are on the app, the businesses that are featured? Do they get business? Do they get repeat customers? Are they finding value in it?
A lot of them are seeing a lot of loyalty from it. So using it as a loyalty program for their store without having to give away as many rewards because consumers can take their rewards anywhere. So they gain the loyalty without having to give a reward every single time. And like anything, it is the more you use it, the more success you're going to have with it. The more you incorporate it into your business practices.
Right.
If it just sits there, then it's probably just going to sit there.
Right.
But it's like Facebook. It's like your social media marketing. It's like anything else. If you get involved in it and really push it, it's going to do very well for your business.
Right, and it's a free download.
Yes. Oh, free for consumers. So all they have to do is download something for free and start earning rewards.
All right.
For shopping local.
Catherine, thank you very much.
Thank you.
what's up, Hampton Roads? We want to hear from you. So if you have questions or comments about the show, tweet us at HR Business Weekly. We're back in 2 minutes. Welcome back to Hampton Roads Business Weekly. We're here with Danny Rubin, author of Wait, How Do I Write This Email?
Thanks,
Danny,
Zach.
thanks
for
for being
having
here,
me
man.
on.
So this obviously is a big moment, but to get to this, there was a ton, and I mean a ton of small little steps.
Yes,
And I think a lot of people in business only see this,
that's right.
right? And they don't use all those kind of pieces to the puzzle to get there. How, and this probably wasn't even the original vision either.
Nope.
So you get out of TV news several years ago. How do you start getting into kind of the blog world?
Well, I've always known that I like to write. That was sort of step one. I just always looked for ways to write, and I started a blog, which was the smartest decision I ever made in my career. It continues to be.
Yep.
And I was writing sort of a career advice, looking at the news, still as wearing my journalist hat, looking for the career advice in the headlines. Started writing on different topics, didn't have a clear focus, always kept close watch of my Google Analytics, looking at the traffic. Noticed over time that people came to me for instruction on writing scenarios, organic Google traffic, hundreds of thousands of views over time.
Yeah.
And it was unmistakable where the trend was going, what the audience was asking for, and I felt that I had the data I needed to move forward and make a book of writing guides.
Let's talk about a real life template that we could do right now. So let's say someone is looking to do a follow-up email to someone that they just met and sent in their resume.
Let's say at our PR firm, we get a lot of inquiry from recent graduates who want to either intern or work for us.
Yep.
And the pitch is always weak. And it's weak because it typically says, hi, my name is blank, I just graduated from blank, are you hiring?
Yep.
And then that's it.
Yep.
And, you
And
know,
sometimes they even put the wrong company now.
well, sure, if they put the wrong company or the wrong name, that's a whole different conversation. But what they should do, in addition to introducing themselves, is to show me as the employer examples of what they've accomplished, whether in school or at a previous job, links to things. What's on you need a blog, a portfolio. What do you have to show me? I need the evidence. I need the proof of how valuable you claim to be. And on the flip side, so few people do this, and is the most important part of an email, is they do not research the company and they do not tell the employer why they respect that company.
They're basically blindly applying to something, hoping to something
Well, they're
else.
sending the same email 50 places. The authenticity and the customization, that's where you will find the success. Because if you say, I went to your website, I checked out your recent project, name it, link back to it, explain in a sentence why you found it so notable, that's a move that's going to make somebody want to write you back.
What is next for you? What's next for the next book? What's next for Danny Rubin?
Well, in the here and now, like I said, I'm wearing the two hats at Rubin Communications Group,
Yep.
maintaining our PR firm, but also trying to develop this expertise as a writing expert. The next phase is to continue to speak on this topic, to continue to bring this book in front of institutions that could take advantage in the classroom, high schools, colleges, workforce development programs. It's a big, wide world. I'm also in the process of finishing a second book, which is going to look very much like this one. Same size, same font, everything, called Wait, How Do I Promote My Business? And it's sort of the other side of the coin. This is all about how to get your foot in the door.
Yep.
And once you have the job, you have to write press releases. You have to write website content. You have to write blog posts. You have to write crowdfunding campaigns.
Yep.
How do you write those things? What's the best way to put the words down so people will remember you and want to act on what you have told them? So the books are going to be like twins, and I'm pretty far along with the manuscript. The process of putting it all together is laborious, but it's actually much easier, ironically, because I've created a template for myself, and now it's a lot easier to plug the content in, and I'm not stressing so much about how it's going to look.
Will
It's
you
just the
sell
words
that template
themselves.
to other people?
The template for the template of a book?
Yeah.
Well, that book's probably been written, but if it makes sense down the road, sure.
There you go. Book number 3, Danny Rubin. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thanks for your time.
We have more Hampton Roads Business Weekly on the way, but first, the Millennial Minute.
Hi, I'm Renee.
And I'm Mike. Many of you have tried Facebook ads, but from what we've heard,
A lot of you are having trouble connecting that return on investment to what you've done. So why is that? Well, here's a couple quick tips that we've learned along the way as we've run Facebook ads for our advertisers.
Firstly, you want to make sure that your target audience isn't too narrow. You may think that your ideal customer is a mom with 3 kids, a dog, and who watches The Bachelorette. But by including all those demographics, you're really narrowing your scope. So try eliminating some of those categories. Target a mom in the 10-mile radius of your location.
Don't generalize too much or target people who are just like you. A really great way to do this is to use your Facebook page insights to see who's engaging with you already. Are they more men or women? What is the age range? Use all this information as a baseline and then build your demographics out from there.
Lastly, you want to make sure that your Facebook ads are optimized on all placements. That means that no matter where they appear, desktop, mobile, or Instagram, that Facebook will determine which one is best and add more of those ads onto that platform automatically.
And run generic ads and let them run. People need to see your message at least 7 times before they take an action, so don't just put an ad up for a day and then take it down. The longer that you run an ad, the more data you'll have to make better judgments next time.
If you have more questions about Facebook ads, contact us online at hrbusinessweekly.com.
And that is your
Millennial Minute.
Entrepreneurship can often be unexpected. I spoke with Susie Kelly, a local business owner who set out to be a dental hygienist, but ended up the CEO of an electrical distribution company with 5 locations now across the country. We are here today with Susie Kelly, the CEO of Jokel Incorporated in Chesapeake, a company that provides engineering solutions. Susie, thanks so much for inviting us into your workshop here.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm glad to have you here today.
It's a busy day. You've got
It
a
is.
customer appreciation event going on.
Right.
And I said, we're in your workshop, so projects are underway. Can you talk to us about what goes on in your business today?
Well, Jokel Incorporated is actually an electrical supply and engineering company. So you're looking at kind of the engineering portion of it right here. But we are probably the major supplier for Navy shipboard electrical equipment in the United States. So we have that element of our business as well.
It's impressive. You
you.
have about 60 employees in 5 locations around the United States. But we were talking earlier about how you got your start almost 40 years ago.
Right.
And it wasn't in this location.
No, no.
Can you talk about how you got your start in business?
Sure. Actually, my father-in-law, Joe Kelly, of course, that's where the name Jokel came from. He started the business back in 1977. So this was his brainchild, so to speak. But he started it with very little capital, and most people back then started the businesses in their garage, and that's where Jokel started, in the garage. And it was an idea in his head, and of course, that's where a lot of small businesses start.
Mm-hmm. And then how did you step in? Because I know that entrepreneurship was not your goal back then.
Right.
You had another career path entirely, and you just kind of got thrown into this.
I actually did, but it was a good kind of throw in. You know, I was getting my master's at Old Dominion University in dental hygiene. So while I was on breaks or when I wasn't in classes, I would go to his office and see if he needed some help. And typically I would be his truck driver. I would go and deliver products to his customers. So that was my role back then, but it was so much fun. Whether I was just in his office helping him with sales or whether I was driving his truck, I had so much fun. So I had to make a decision. Do I want to continue on with dental hygiene or do I want to try another path? And I tried the path of business and I haven't regretted a minute of it.
60 employees now.
That's right.
Path to growth, maybe back when you started, maybe you didn't say, oh, I want a company with 60 employees. What did you think about your business when you started it way back when?
Well, it's very interesting because we, each month, you know, we'd close our books and we'd see how much revenue we did each month. And back then it was like if we achieved $10,000 in a month, that was huge, you know. So, you know, it's increasing those sales every month, which was very good. You know, we got a huge break. We became very well known back then, and this was before the internet, for the most part. This is before the internet. So we became very well known throughout the country as going to the place, if Navy buyers had a hard time finding something, they would come to Jokel, and we became very well known for that. So there came a point in the life of our company where a major manufacturer came to us and they wanted us to be a distributor for them. And they were only selecting 5 companies in the country to do that. But in order to do that, we had to put $100,000 worth of inventory in stock. And for us back then, even now, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot.
And we didn't have the money. Let me tell you, we had very little money. So we had to make relationships with our bank.
When you talk with other folks, people who want to start businesses, who want to maybe do their own thing on the side, what do you suggest for them to do? Their steps to finding success in whatever path they take?
Well, I would say this: follow your passion. Follow your passion, and hopefully you have the talent to back it up. Because, I have a lot of different passions. I love to sing, for example, but I don't have the talent to back it up. So you got to kind of have the passion and the talent all in one. But you can also develop talent. So that's also very good. And also surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. With a master's degree in dental hygiene, if you look around, you can see that I don't have very much dental equipment around me. I surround myself with people who are very knowledgeable, who are experts, who are the best in their field.
Well, congratulations on the success of Jokel. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Cheryl. Appreciate it.
We're busting out the table for a special guest, Dr. David Arrington, who's going to tell us how in 30 days you can transform your life. It's next on Hampton Roads Business Weekly. Welcome back to Hampton Roads Business Weekly. I did it again. 3.
Here, I'll do it.
You want it?
Welcome back to Hampton Roads Business Weekly. My name is Zach Miller, and I'm here with Dr. David Arrington.
See, that was perfect.
There you go.
Dr. David Arrington, how's it going today?
Man, I'm on top of the world. Best day ever.
So it takes someone 30 days to make a change, right? What does it take for someone to understand that it's not going to be overnight and that they do have to figure out in a month's time?
So you can make a change immediately, but the difficult part is making sure that change sticks. So most of us think, we're 21 days or a lot of 21-day challenges, and that gets you most of the way there. But some recent studies have shown it really takes about 30 days. So when you're 21 days in, you're almost there. But if you think that everything's done at 21 days, it may lead you to some relapse, and some of those great habits you've been working on so hard may fall apart. So 30 days is usually a great measure, at least some of the new studies have shown 30 days is a great amount of time to bake in a new habit.
Why 9 more days? Why 10 more days? What makes that big difference? And why can't someone just change overnight?
Well, oh my goodness. If we could all change overnight, we'd all be super healthy, we'd be super fit, we'd have all of our goals achieved if we could change overnight. The problem is we are creatures of habit, and sometimes our habits are our worst enemies. That's why I did the 30 Days of Success video series that we were talking about earlier. And that 30 Days of Success series is designed to help people achieve their goals, because it does take a long time. We want to keep going back to the way we were because it's comfortable, it's fun. I mean, it's like, on a cold morning when the alarm clock rings and you want to get out of the bed, but it's really cold out there, and as soon as you put your foot down, it's cold, so you hit snooze and curl up for another 10 minutes. That's that's how it is with those old habits. You want to get those new habits, but you have to do new things to get those new habits.
So how does someone get through the bad times in those 30 days?
It's called mental toughness.
But not everyone's mentally tough.
But the funny thing about mental toughness is it's a skill you can develop.
Okay.
When we're all younger, it takes nothing to make us cry, or when we're kids, we get our egos and our little hearts bruised so easily. As we get older, we develop a resiliency and a mental resiliency that's going to be necessary to push through the obstacles, the disappointments, the rejection that you're talking about, and even to stay focused enough to build a business. So what you've got to end up doing is you've got to choose every single day that this is the new you. So that's why 30 days. If you can stick with something for 30 days, if you can get up and make a conscious choice that I'm going to do this for 30 days, generally by the end of it, you don't have to make the conscious choice anymore. By that point, it's now a subconscious choice. I'll tell you about my habit real quick.
Yeah.
I started doing these Miracle Mornings, book by Hal Elrod.
Okay.
Great book. I hated journaling and I hated doing some other stuff, but I read the book and I was like, okay, let me give it a try. Once I got into it, I found myself almost automatically at my thinking chair in the morning, doing my affirmations, doing my journaling,
Because
which
it
now I
became a
love.
habit.
It became a habit because I chose every single day that I was going to do this. and I was going to make this work. And now it has become one of the greatest vehicles that I'm riding to even greater success.
So mental toughness, totally get it.
Yep.
But for someone that isn't mentally tough, what are some skills or what are some ways that they can practice?
Okay. You've got to reprogram. And again, that takes time. I disbelieve that people aren't mentally tough. I believe we make poor choices that lead us back to the same places. So if we make better choices, we get better results. So saying I'm not mentally tough, and you're gonna have to pardon me for this, I think it's an excuse.
Sure.
I mean, you can change anything you want. You can pick a weight that you want, and if you're serious about it and you seek out the right help to get there, you can get there. So again, if you feel you're not
how much
mentally,
do you want it?
Exactly.
Right? And if you don't want it, you're not gonna get it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're anything in this life is that way.
Sure.
You got to go get everything.
Right.
So yeah, I would tell them if they feel they're not mentally tough, surround themselves with people who are more mentally tough, and you become the average of the 5 people you hang around.
Yeah.
So if those people are mentally tough people, your mental toughness quotient is going to rise.
You know, the way I got this TV show was because I saw an opportunity to raise my hand, and I kept going after it. And so I felt that I was mentally tough enough to get it, even when other people were like, it's probably not. And I said, no, I'm going to push through and make it happen. 2 years later, we're still here.
Exactly.
David Arrington, 30 Days of Success. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, you're so welcome.
That wraps up another edition of Hampton Roads Business Weekly. Like us on Facebook and Instagram at HR Business Weekly.
There, you will find segments from previous shows, plus some great behind-the-scenes pictures and videos. For Hampton Roads Business Weekly, I'm Zach Miller.
And I'm Cheryl Tan. We'll see you next week.
Hampton Roads Business Weekly, sponsored by Regent University and produced by ABC 13.